Hey Ron, today I want to just make a very quick Easter basket. Now this doesn't have to be an Easter basket. You can use this idea and these measurements and concepts for pretty much anything. But I'm going to make a basket that I'm going to put some decorated Easter eggs around the edges of, and a handle over the top so I can put things in there if I want to and use it as a decorative item. So I'm using the thermoformable felt. The reason I'm doing that is I'm actually going to pop it in the oven and make it stand up and hold some form. So I have two pieces here. One's just one of the squares in the soft pink, and the second is the I think it's called sand, this colour. I'm not 100%, it might be stone. Anyway, something like that. And I've got a 15.5, roughly, let's say 15-inch square here. Now, I've already cut this and I've marked out the centre of my basket. So that's going to be the base of my basket. So I have 5.5, actually it's closer to 5.75 inch square in the middle there. And what I did was I took my ruler and measured 10.5 inches from each of the four sides and drew the lines up. So from each side I did 10.5 inches and drew a line with my marking pencil. Now that's going to give me a nice base. I'm going to cut into the corners over here to create like a dart, and then from there I'm going to stitch that together, pop it in the oven and form it up. In the meantime, I'm going to take my pink, and I've got some wonderful Wonderfill threads I'm going to use to just do some decorative stitching. I'm not going to do anything very flash, just because I don't have an embroidery machine, so I'm just going to use basic embroidery stitches with some of the bright colours and some of the metallic, and I will come back and show you what I have done with that. So that's my base materials. Right, so I've used the confetti purple, pink and blue thread from Wonderfill, as well as the glamour. I'm not sure what the colour of that is, but it's got this beautiful lustre and a bit of colour through it. And I have done some very basic machine stitching across my felt. I'm going to take an egg-shaped piece of template plastic, and I'm going to cut out random Easter egg shapes through where I've done that stitching, and they'll get stitched onto my outside of my basket. What I've done with the basket itself is I took the centre square that I talked about earlier, so 10.5 inches either side to create the centre square, and then I drew a line from the centre point through to the corner, and I measured out 1.5 inches either way, and then I drew lines along there which become my darts for the basket. So when I stitch these together, my basket edges are going to sit up. A bit hard to do this one-handed. So my basket edges will sit up a bit and frame itself around that box. So once I've cut out the last dart here, and I flip that over, I'm going to cut out my Easter egg shaped bits of felt from my embroidery, and then I will machine stitch them onto the outside of the basket. So then I will stitch up the edges and I'll come back and I'll show you what I've done. Right, so we've stitched the beautiful Easter eggs onto each side of the basket. And stitched the 4 sides up. Now I've just popped a couple of pins in here to hold a bit more shape. Not because I want it to be that tight, because I don't, but because I just wanted to hold it a bit more upright. So I could stitch from that corner, from about the pin to the corner, and hold it in. And I may yet, depending on how overall the basket goes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put it in the oven. So it's a low heat, and you put it in on about 120, 110 for about 20 minutes. Now, sometimes if something's quite intricate, I might fill the base with rice, like I would if I were blind baking a pie. Right, so I've come to the kitchen and I've put some square plates. Just happen to have some square plates, well they're a bit rectangular, but anyway, on the base of the basket to keep it relatively flat. And I have pinned my handles. They won't stay in that position necessarily. I haven't measured the position, but I just want to hold the shape. So I've popped some glass jars. Now it's not pushing on them because I just want to make sure that if it drops, it doesn't fall in. It's going to stay relatively curved. So the oven is on at 140 and it's going to take about 30 minutes to bake, in inverted commas, to bake my felt. And then that's going to hold its shape pretty much as you see it right now. And I can then do some more embroidery. I'm going to pop some buttons on. Anyway, I'll show you everything when we go. But yeah, that's it, ready to go into the oven. I'll put it on a baking tray with some baking paper on the bottom, just to keep any grease that might be on the baking tray off the basket, and give it half an hour in the oven. So here's our finished basket. Looks pretty cool. We've got the sides attached. You can see that the top has remained flat as a result of being in the oven with the jars. There's plenty of space in there for lots of goodies. I've sewn the buttons on to hold those corners in place and the handle in place, and now it's ready for filling for Easter, should you choose to do that. I made a little bunny to go with it, just out of some of the cuddle material, and the Easter bath bombs and soaps and things are all from our sister business, Kirkwood Body and Bath. So I'll put those back in the shed. I just wanted some decorations for the pictures. Hope you enjoy that project. If you want to have a go at making one yourself, I'll have the templates available on the website tomorrow, and instructions, and if you're interested I can do 15-inch squares of this felt, and I'll pop those on the website tomorrow as well. Enjoy that, and I'll see you next week.